We just had an almighty hail shower, probably the worst I've seen in my life. It was horrendous, and right in the middle of that hail shower, typically the rod went. So here it is, an absolute unit of a spotted ray. I'd taken a little whiting, which has taken the lug and squid. That spot has got to be £4, if not a little bit more. That's an absolute beast of a spotted, that is. Really thick as well. Just taken the whiting, and the whiting took the squid and the worm. So initially I thought cod, but then a couple of pumps in, I knew it was a ray. So yeah, I didn't capture the fight and the bite on camera because it was the thunderstorm was unreal. So, but yeah, that's first cast. Richie's just had an eel first cast, so it's looking promising. Zero, zero. Right, come here. Go back. £5.1. £5.1. Happy days. Boom. Yeah, fishing's still hectic. I can't do as much filming as normal because we're doing this in between thunderstorms. We're having the you know 40 to 50 mile-an-hour winds, heavy rain, just hail, everything absolutely battering us today. But Richie's had a few fish, small eels. I've just had this half decent eel here. Probably not going to behave for me. Just hold it like a carp. Ooh, careful, careful, fishy. Daddy, come here. Behave. Check your head round. Oh, you're doing my head in now. Bigger ones are so much easier to handle. They are, aren't they? Yeah, the bigger ones are so much easier to handle. Yeah, so when I see, I don't know, £6, something like that. That took a bluey and squid bait. And it's always handy when you come to places like this to always have a nice little landing net. I don't know, it's probably 2 foot by 2.5 foot. It's that tough mesh, it's not that silky stuff that you get on nets these days. So roughly 20 quid. And then on the other rod, I chucked out a 2-hook clip down. I got me a lovely little paw cod. So I've had 2 casts on each rod. I've had a whiting, a £5 spotted ray, a nice £6 eel and a paw cod. So any more species, I'll put them in a keep net and get the front cover of the Angling Times. What do you reckon? Well, the action's coming thick and fast. Richie's banging out the straps. Hopefully he can get amongst a half decent fish soon. The weather is still battering us. I managed to winkle out a little thorny now, taking on lug and crab on a short pulley. I did think this was a cod, stayed deep all the way in, but a thorny popped up. So I know the footage isn't going to be great in between showers, and it's just starting again now. Here we go. I need to get in the tent and get out of this. Yeah, the fishing's going all right at the moment. Apart from the weather, it's all right. We've had probably half a dozen straps out. Richie's banging the straps out left, right and centre. We've managed a thorny, a spotted, a porcud, a half tidy eel and a whiting. So yeah, I'm hoping the worst of the weather has passed, because yeah, it's been lethal, absolutely lethal. But it's 2 hours to high water, so it's looking promising. So I don't know if you can see by the state of the sea behind me, some of the swells are 6 foot high. We've got a massive one coming now, look. Yeah, some of them are easy 5-6 foot. You can actually see some of the waves hitting Sully Island in the background, and it looks like they're going halfway up it and then back down. So, yeah. But yeah, we're here, we're giving it a go. It's not the best conditions, so yeah, let's keep the baits going out and let's see what we can catch. Yeah, you gotta bear with me, I also forgot my tripod, so the GoPro is sitting on top of my cool box. Just had a nice bite on the right hand rod. It seemed like another ray bite, but finally when I got a bite, it's not absolutely hammering though. The fish is still coming thick and fast. Nice little rockling by a few ounces. This is species number 6. So rockling, porcud, whiting, straps, thornback ray, spotted ray of over £5. But yeah, it's cleared up a bit, but we're still getting the odd shower. You can probably still see the rainbow beside us. So but yeah, this rig is just a rig I like to use. Is just a 2-hook running down, so it's clipped up like a 2-hook clip down. As soon as it releases, the bottom one drops, the top one's fixed on an SRT spring. So nice little rockling, lightly hooked. So we'll get this one back and then yeah, lively. We'll get him back and see if we can get out the codling. That's all we're missing now, is a blonde and a codling. So yeah, let's get back to it. The reason why I'm using the 2-hook clip down with a small hook was last year when I was in that cod comp, I didn't know that my mate at the time entered me into the whiting comp, which was running alongside the cod comp. So because my mate entered me, he paid the £1 or £2 extra for the cod comp, which I didn't know about. And I was on here, funny enough, I was fishing for early rays and I had a nice whiting. I thought the whiting would be over £2. So I decided to give it away, and it was £1.8. So yeah, I didn't record it or anything because I didn't know. And then later that day, Mr. Tapper rang me to see how I'm getting on. I told him I had a £1.8 whiting, and he's like, "Oh, you're top of the board." And I was like, "What are you on about?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm winning it with like a £1 whiting or something, just a little bit bigger." I could have won myself a few £100. So I chucked an expensive whiting back. So yes, so we've had a couple of whiting today, but they're all very small. But there's always that chance off you have a big one. I think the biggest whiting I've seen in my own eyes was, if he remembers this, John Austin. Porthcawl Pier many years ago. I packed up because it was too cold. He stuck it out, and then he's shouting down, I got a codlin. I went and handballed it up. It was a whiting. It was either £3.3 or £3.8. It was an absolute unit of a whiting. So yes, there are some big whiting out there. Now the good thing is with the Bristol Channel, you cast a bait out, you don't know what you're going to get. You know, so yes, looking good for it. I'm going to give it another couple of hours, another 2 hours maybe. You all know I like to get back early in the afternoon to take Kieran out. So we got here before low water, and to be fair, the first, or pretty much all the flood, the weather was horrendous. That's a nice bite. Yeah, mate. I'll throw a flat one. I'll throw a clip down. Oh, that's nice. Very careful, you looks like got small hooks on. So this is a whiting, it's a big whiting. Yeah, it's 10 hooks on it, 10 and £30. Pull it back a bit then, I think it might be a little eel. I hope not. Our rig's going to be a mess. Staying deep. Yeah mate, he's going banging his head. Trees to get back. Legends, nice one. I was hoping it was a nice little whiting, but no. It's a little eel, a little bit of a snag. So yes, as long as we're catching, it's all that matters. Happy days. Yeah, it's coming towards the end of the session now. It's 2 hours down. Pretty much the last 2.5, 3 hours have been pretty much fishless. Believe it or not, most of the action came when the weather was really bad, when it was dark as well. Because we got here the first hour and a half, 2 hours was still dark. But now the wind has calmed down, the blue skies are out. The sea's kind of flattening off, but it's still quite swelly. Nowhere near as bad as it was earlier. The fishing's dried up. Yeah, so my last fish was a rocklin. Richie's had another whiting, but the whiting are only like 5-6 inches. But yeah, it's been a good day fishing wise. Couldn't get a lot of you know, action recorded on the camera. 2 reasons. Number one, I forgot my tripod. I don't know how I did that. And the second one, the weather. You know, as soon as I attempted to put the GoPro on the cool box outside the igloo, the wind was just blowing it off. So I had no hope whatsoever. And it's not the same when someone's holding the GoPro, because you get all the shaking and stuff like that. So, and plus I needed Richie to come down and land the fish as well. So because when you're fishing on a bit of a height, like a 45-degree angle, it'd always be nice, because with a tripod, a GoPro tripod, you can tilt the camera forward so you can look down when like Richie was like netting the rays, but we couldn't do that today. So a little bit disappointed in myself for getting that. So, but while I'm sat here, I've been on Amazon and ordered another tripod. So, because I use one tripod between my mobile phone and my GoPro, so I just swapped the fittings. So now, you know, I can just leave it in the box. I haven't got to touch it. Because when I went to Penarth fishing the other day for a couple of casts, I took my mobile phone, didn't take the GoPro. So my fault. But yeah, we've had probably 10 eels, close to 10 eels. I haven't really counted. Biggest one about 6-8 pound. And what else we had? A handful of whiting, a porcod, a rocklin, what else? A thornback ray, and a lovely 5 pound plus spotted ray. Yeah, so that's my 3rd spotted over 5 pound from the Welsh side. I had one many moons ago off the Barry Knapp. I think it was like 5 pound and grams, whatever it was. It wasn't even an ounce, which was nice. And then I had one off the White Light back in about 2015, 2014. My cousin Hugh Jones will remember this if he watches it. We got there in low water, first cast. I put out a single sand eel as far as I can, like a large launce. Rod goes, he goes down to grab it, he shouts up, "Oh Dean, it's only a small blonde. Do you want me to unhook it, chuck it back?" I said, "Yeah, alright then." He said, "Oh, I can't get the hook out, it's quite far down." So I said, "I'll bring it up then." As he brought it up, I'm glad he did, because it was a spotted 5 pound 9 ounce, which is my PB. So I'll get the boys at VMO to add the picture, which is nice. So that was my second, and then that one today. We're going to give it another half hour and then see what happens. You know, it takes a second to get a bite, anything can happen. But yeah, I've seen no one out fishing. There's no one on the White Light, no one on Nels, no one on the Monkey Tongue. I've seen a headlight come off Sully Island this morning, so they braved the weather over low water. So yes, but you know, unless anything happens on these last casts now, I'll get the camera back out and then show you too. But if not, tight lines, take care, tread carefully on these rocks. It's very dangerous. Oh, that's another thing. If you're planning to come to the green light now, be very careful. They built railings right the way around, so you have to climb up and over, which is very dangerous. One slip, you've impaled yourself, or you're falling in the river. Or if you cross the river itself, it's about 3 foot deep, you get taken out. Oh, it's not worth it. So if you're going to come to the green light now, just be very careful, you know. So but yes, on that note, tight lines, take care, see you next time.